Hey guys, welcome down Home Bites with Darlene. We have a family reunion tomorrow with my husband's mother's side of the family. I think maybe this is my third year to go. I'm going to make what is called a Rave review cake. I got this recipe from one of my mom's sisters, and I've made it several times. Everybody always loves it. So I want to make one of those to carry with me tomorrow, and it's a basically a toasted coconut cake is how to describe it, I guess. So since we're going to a reunion, I don't want. I'm carrying food. I don't want my hair in it, so I'm going to pull this hair back a little bit so that hopefully no one gets a surprise. If they do, just tell them they want a prize or something. Give them $1 or whatever. So, oh yeah, looking really cute here. Okay, but who cares? I'm baking. So let me get this camera switch over and we'll take this as we go. I hope y'all enjoy it and stay tuned. Come on back. Okay, for this cake, I'm going to use my stand mixer. And when I make cakes, I like to use this attachment. So let's get that on there. I haven't been on my mixer in so long, it probably don't even know me anymore. Let's see here. Sorry about that. Probably should have done that. There we go. Now, guys, if you don't have a stand-up mixer, save up your money and get you one. It's well worth it. And I highly advise get the KitchenAid. I wish I had the one that is a little bit bigger than this, but for what I do, it's fine. So this cake recipe actually uses a cake mix, but we're adding stuff to it. So like I said, a lot of times I make everything from scratch for the most part, but some recipes do call for cake mixes. And so I have nothing against that in the least bit. So this you're going to use 1 box of yellow cake mix, any brand. Mine is Duncan Hines. The only thing I ask you to do is don't use one that says it has added pudding in it because we're actually putting some in there. So you put the cake mix in there. And now we're using a 3-ounce box of French vanilla instant pudding. So believe it or not, I thought I had everything out here and ready like I usually think I do, and then I forget. Some people would say that's old age. It's just me. But I will use the excuse of old age, although I don't feel old. Okay. Oh, and preheat your oven to 350. All right. So we got that. Now we want 1.5 cups of water. And you're going to put 4 eggs. So as you can see, this is not the normal directions for a usual cake mix box. Okay, like I said, we are going to this reunion, and my husband's Aunt Barbara, she kind of is the matriarch, I guess, of the family, and I love her to death. And talk about a fantastic cook. Oh my goodness, it's just unbelievable. It reminds me so much of my grandmother's cooking. So we're going to stick the 4 eggs in there. And then it is 1/4 cup of oil. I use canola oil. You can use vegetable oil too, but Canola oil is a little bit better for you, like it really matters in this cake, but um, I just tend to like it a lot better. So we got that. So now this has to beat on medium speed for about 4 minutes. So I'm not going to make you sit here and listen to me if I can find the thing. Once I get to the 4 minutes, I'll be right back. Okay, we have beat it for 4 minutes. So now take it off of the mixer itself. So I can finish this up. Let's get this out of the way for a second. There we go. All right. So now we want to add 2 cups of flaked coconut. When you measure it, you want to pack it down. Also, I would not use the frozen coconut. It won't turn out. It's too watery. It's great on other, like you're making a fresh coconut cake. It's great for that. But for this cake, it doesn't do well. So add that. We add a cup of chopped pecans. Now we're just gonna stir that in. And guys, I never order anything from Pampered Chef, but I got these spatulas. It's probably been 20 years ago. Still great as they can be, but they, when you are, trying to get the edges clean stuff, they are the best. So I will get you one. I have 2. So we get that all stirred up. This is one of my favorite cakes, and I very rarely make it unless I am going somewhere, because if I did, I would just sit and eat the whole thing by myself. Goodness gracious. I am such a sweet eater, and I've been trying to diet, or let me change it. I've been trying to change my lifestyle. I do good for about 3 or 4 days, and then I'm like, I gotta have something. So I'm trying. So, okay, we got that. Now, this it's a 3-layer cake, so you need 3 9-inch round cake pans. Okay, I found these things. They're like wax paper, parchment paper, and they have the little edges on them, so that when it gets done, you just lift that up and your cake should come out clean. The only thing is while you are, before you get your cake in there, the little edgy thingies here, they want to flop over. So while I'm doing this, I just put clothespins on it until I get my cake mix in there. Guys, I use clothespins for everything. Like if I have chips that we've opened, instead of buying the chip clasp and all that, I just use clothespin. I went and bought like this huge, I think it's 100 clothespins at Dollar Tree. And by the way, I should be getting a commission off of Dollar Tree, because I sure do a lot of business for them in advertisement. But anyway, so now we're going to divide the batter into 3. So I just kind of put a little in each to begin with, so I can kind of tell how much you actually need. Okay, so let's put a little bit in the other ones. I think I'm dripping here. Okay, you see what I mean about the spatula? It's a miracle. It's funny, you know how a lot of people, when they go in certain shops and things, you know, they ooh and ah over, let's say, jewelry or uh, something expensive. Me, put me in a shop that has kitchen supplies, I feel like I have hit the jackpot. I am not a reader either at all, never have been. I can read a magazine maybe. My attention span is not enough, and I don't enjoy it enough for me to actually spend the extra time to do it. But sorry, I gotta come over here. But give me a new cookbook, and I will sit down and I will go from page to page to page, and right when I get it, and I will mark things that I want to try. I don't know, to each his own, I guess, whatever it is that makes you happy. So if anybody ever wants to give me a gift, I like cookbooks. We have an antique store not far from, I'd say probably less than a mile or so from here. And it's like 3 buildings of antique books, but one of the buildings, that's all they have in there. Just about on half of the building are books. So they don't just have cookbooks, they have other books too. So that is a place my husband and I will go to every once in a while because he does like to read. And I just stay in the cookbook aisle, and I just tell him, you know, come back to here when you're finished, and that's where I'll be standing. So what's so funny is not long ago, well, I'll say it's probably been about a year ago now, I was in there looking for cookbooks, and I found one that looked really familiar. So I'm like, So I started looking at it, and it's actually a cookbook that I have recipes in. It was a feeling. I cannot explain what the feeling is because I had completely forgot about even having recipes in this cookbook. But yeah, it was there, so for sure I bought it. I used to have one, not sure what happened to it unless it got lost in my when I moved from Alabama to here. But anyway, that has been a treasure for me. Okay, so got that in. I moved the clothespins off. We just bang it on there so it will get some of the bubbles out. So you're going to put it in the 350 oven for about 35 minutes. Of course, when you touch it, if it springs back, it's done. If it isn't, then just bake it a few more minutes more. So we'll get that done, and when they're done, well, I'm going to put it in the oven, and we're going to go ahead and make our frosting. Okay, stay tuned. Okay. This recipe uses, it's a cream cheese frosting basically, but the amount that is on the original recipe for myself, it only just barely spreads between the layers and around the cake. So I always double the recipe. Professional bakers will tell you you need to have the same ratio of icing to your cake as far as the layers are concerned. I like that because frosting is my best. It's my favorite. So what I'm gonna do is there's 2 8-ounce blocks of cream cheese and 4 tablespoons of butter. And so what I did when I got up this morning, I went ahead and laid my cream cheese and my butter out so it would get to room temperature. So I'm going to use my hand mixer for this. So like I said, cream cheese and the butter's in there. And you just want to beat it till it's smooth, you know, and melded together. That's it. That helps because when it is at room temperature, it doesn't take long for it to mix together. Okay, and then the next thing you want to do is your powdered sugar and your milk. So I use a 2-pound bag of powdered sugar, or you can use 2 boxes of the 1 pound. But anyway, so to keep this from going all over me, I will probably just add a little bit at a time, mix that in, and then you alternate it with milk. And the milk is, it's going to be 2 teaspoons total. Well, where did I put my teaspoon spoons, girls? There we go. Whew. So we'll put half of the powdered sugar in first. Okay. Then we'll put a teaspoon of milk. Okay. Now we'll mix it. Start out on low so you don't get splattered. Mixer's struggling a little bit here, so we'll go ahead and turn that up a little. Kind of scrape your sides as you go along. Okay. All right, now we're going to put the last half of the powdered sugar in. Another teaspoon of milk. And we also want a teaspoon of vanilla extract. As you know, I typically use vanilla bean paste, but I don't want this icing to be dark, so I'm just using regular pure vanilla extract. There we go. You can also get clear vanilla extract too. Okay. Okay, let me get this mixed up. I'll be right back. Okay, I got the rest of the frosting mixed up, but that's not the end of it. So now what you want to do is take 2 tablespoons of butter in a saute pan. This is something you have to stand right here with it. I usually put it on medium high or sometimes high. It's just according to how patient I am. Today, not very patient because I got a lot of stuff I got to get done. But anyway, get that to melting, and then you pour 2 more cups of flaked coconut in. And all we're doing is toasting the coconut. So before I started doing this, I went ahead on the countertop and put out some wax paper, and I also put some paper towels on top of it, and that's what's going to, when this gets brown, I'm going to put it out on that so that it can cool down. And actually then some of that is going to go into the icing, and then some will go on the top for decoration. And since this cake is, it kind of gives that, because of the toasted coconut, it gives that brownish, toasty looking appearance, then it's really easy to, like one year I found just a really small plastic pumpkin, and I put it right on top and to add to the decoration. Another time I found, I just had some fall silk flowers, So I put those on top just to make it pretty, you know. Of course, it's not edible or anything, but it does add a little bit of to it. And I do have my own vocabulary as far as cooking phrases are concerned. But, you know, this recipe does call for it to be on low to do this. Yeah, if you're right there with it, you can turn the heat up. Just as long as you're monitoring what it's doing and you're just stirring constantly, it won't take it very long. So I'm going to continue to do this and I'll be right back. Okay, there's what the coconut looks like. Okay guys, just a reminder, when you're doing the coconut, do remember to take it off a little bit before it is all brown, because it actually will continue to keep browning once you even spread it out on the paper. It's still toast, so it's good. But that has to cool completely. So after that cools completely, I'll come back and we'll finish up the frosting, and it's got about probably 1 minute left on the cakes. I'll get those out and get them to cooling, and we'll finish this beautiful cake up. The cakes are out of the oven. They're over here cooling in the pan for about 10 minutes, and then of course I'll take them out, let them cool completely. But we can go ahead and finish up the frosting now. So again, you use a spatula to get every bit of this goodness in there. So what we're going to do is, out of the coconut that we browned, we're going to use about 1.25 cups or so, and then the rest of it will go on the top for decoration. So I just eyeball it, you know, but it does have to be completely cooled down. So put that in there, maybe a little bit more. I think that leaves me plenty for the topping. We'll put a little bit more. There we go. Okay. All right. Now, you just stir this in your icing. Now, I just can't. If you like coconut, you definitely need to try this, because it is, you know, I've had Italian cream cakes, I've had lots of cakes with just cream cheese icing on it, but I don't know if it is the pudding that is in the cake part, or if it's the toasted coconut. It has just a unique, brand new flavor to it. It's wonderful. Okay. So I've got that mixed. So I'm gonna let these cakes completely cool, and then when they are done and I'm ready, keep losing my control, people. Where did I put it? My head wasn't connected, it would just fall off. So there it is. You gotta find it. Okay. So guys, stay tuned. Okay, it's time to put our cakes together. They are cooled off, and I'm putting my control right there so maybe I can see it. Okay, just to let you know now, the layers, they won't come out like a normal size of a layer cake, because it is split in threes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the smallest one first on the bottom. Like I said, they do have to be completely cooled off. So I'm going to put this there. Put this a little bit of icing on there. Like I said, you do want to try to get the same amount of height on your icing as you do on your cake, so that when you cut it, not only does it taste better because you're getting a little bit of everything, It also looks really pretty too. So, and I usually just go like right to the edge. I know everybody probably frosts cakes differently. I don't even remember how my mom used to do it or anything, but I know this is the way I always have. So my next cake layer, what I'm doing is between the two that's left, the one that's got the smoothest top is the one I'm gonna keep for the top. So we'll put this next one on here. Okay, give us a little bit of icing for it. You see why now I make a double recipe. Okay. If you don't have an offset spatula, by all means get you one. I didn't think it would make that much difference. I usually always just used a butter knife, but once I started using these, no, it just feels better in the hand. It gives you a little bit more control. God, I wish I could smell this. It smells so good. Okay, now we're going to put the top layer on. Okay, because this is 3 layers, it's not always necessary, but I like to give it a little bit more strength. Make sure that it sets up. You can buy dowels to put in it. I use straws. What I usually do, first I stick one in the middle. Measure it. Cut it off just a little bit shorter than that. Stick it back in the hole. This will help your cake to stay in place. I usually, I don't know, maybe use one in the middle and one on each side. So I'll cut it out enough. Like I said, it's not necessary. Especially if you're not traveling with it. But since we are traveling, we have like, I don't know, maybe a 45-minute drive or so. I certainly don't want it to fall apart. So I'm gonna put this in there. I'll put one more on this side, and I think that will be all we need. Okay, now what I'm going to do is the sides. Scoop a little bit. I try to hold on to the top of the cake. And just go all the way around with it. I won't make you sit here and watch me, but I'll get the sides and then I'll come back. Okay, the sides are done, so now it's time to do the top. Typically just put it in the middle first. You don't have to like press down or anything like that, just enough to get it to the edge. the rest of this. Scrape all this stuff off. Don't tell anybody I'm doing this with my finger. You kind of want to just make sure that everything is kind of even. That. Okay, now what I do is I go ahead and I go back around the side like this. Runaway straw. Because see, there's a place I didn't get covered. So that way you always know everything that you got done is done. I see no purpose in making the cake. Just make the icing and eat the icing. So, this cake does have to be refrigerated. So what I typically do is I put it in the fridge, but I don't cover it. And I leave it like that until, like right now, what it's about almost noon, probably about 6 o'clock tonight, I will put a cake cover over it. But it needs to stay in the fridge because it needs to firm up. So I hope you guys try this. It's really not a hard thing to make. If you want to impress your mother-in-law, make her one of these. You'll probably be her favorite daughter-in-law for life. So I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. And I have one more video I'm making today. I'm gonna make some focaccia bread. It's been a long time since I've done it, but I need to make it to carry tomorrow. And I'm gonna make a pan of lasagna, my quick lasagna that I think I've already made a video on that. So I will see you guys later. Please follow, subscribe, like, love, share, everything that just helps me. I was really at the pecan festival. It was really overwhelming when a lady come up and she said, "Oh, I watch you on Facebook all the time." And she said, "I love your recipes." I have no clue who she is, so it had to be from someone sharing my video for her to see it. So the more people I can reach, the better, because especially if you're a person that loves baking or cooking for someone, there's no greater joy than to get acknowledgement that someone appreciates your work. So I'm Darlene, Down Home Bites with Darlene. Join me next time. Thanks, guys. See, I told you my brain is not even here today. I forgot to put the coconut on top. So, toast coconut that I set aside. Just sprinkle it on top. Okay. See, don't that make much for your cake? I was just so excited about the ice and I just forgot about this part. And you could always do extra coconut if you wanted to put it on the sides too. I usually just put it on the top. Then I kind of push it down in it a little bit. Got just a little bit more for this side, right there, and right there. Now it's a gorgeous cake. Okay, once again, I'll see you later. Thank you.